Hello everyone and welcome. I'm gonna just talk about some information about this coming solar eclipse. It's gonna be like on Thursday, but I think everybody already feeling that energy around. So I thought some information I want to share to kind of prepare things to think about this time of transformation. So today the moon is in her like last stage. It's balsamic stage, and this really good time to really reflect on things, like reflect on all of your projects that you've been creating in your life. And because of the solar eclipse, it's not just even what you've been creating during this last moon cycle, but also maybe for the last few years, or maybe even the whole life. Depends how you feel about yourself, whatever comes to your mind around that, because the solar eclipse is combined with the new moon, so it's a new beginnings. And the solar eclipse, it's new beginnings on much like bigger level. Things can just happen, they can transform much faster. And so to kind of reflect on things, where you are in life, where you are with your projects, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, what information you have been getting just recently about your personal life and your place in the world. And for the last, year, we all went through so many different things that we do need this transformation. We need this new world to come and to create, be created. And of course, as a women, we really have lots of power in that, because we are connected to the divine. We are connected to that feminine creative energy, right? It is in our own, even in our bodies, to create things. And we know how, even if you think you don't know how, if you tap into that and trust yourself, then you do know how to create things in your life. And so during this new moon, which is going to be solar eclipse also, the sun and the moon are in Gemini, the sign of Gemini. And what is it about? Like, that gives us some information about what is going to be the focus of the transformation. Like, the most focus of transformation is going to be maybe in our personal life and also like in our collective, right? And Gemini is a sign of, it's an air sign, and it's about all intellectual powers. It's about getting ideas, bright ideas. It's also about communication. It's communicating those bright ideas, delivering those ideas, getting the information from like divine, right, from the universe, God, from your own highest being, right, from your maybe your spiritual team, your angels and archangels, from the earth, getting the information, delivering that information. Also, yeah, it's about talking about things, right? And that's exactly what we need at this moment in the world, right? Everywhere. And just asking yourself, what information you've been getting recently, what you can deliver to the world or share it in one way or another, in which way you can share it, right? It could be art, it could be books, it could be like doing Facebook Live and writing, and just communicating, talking to your friends, like this. It's a kind of interesting. This application called Clubhouse is popular right now, right? And it's about connecting, it's about communicating, it's about your voice and sharing information and kind of contributing what your own personal knowledge to other people, right, to the world. And so the planet who rules Geminis are also Mercury. And Mercury is about communication, right? And right now, actually, we are in a Mercury retrograde, which is kind of interesting, right? And Mercury was from like Roman mythology, is a god. It was a messenger god, right? That's why Mercury is about communicating. The planet Mercury is about communication. So he was this god messenger, and if you see his picture, he has like wings on his head. He had wings on his sandals, and so he'd been traveling. So it's about also traveling, delivering information, the ways of delivering information. And it also, he was the god of tricksters, which is also interesting, right? So like when the and also another interesting thing, that he was the only god in mythology, Roman mythology, that who could travel and deliver a message not only from above, from what's called UpperWorld, to the MiddleWorld, where the people live, to the earth. He was the only one who could travel down, what it's called, the downworld, low world. I forgot the word about that. Well, so he could go down, not just only up and deliver messaging. So in the underworld, so when he travels to underworld, right, to this kind of more shady environment, right, that is something kind of energetically, it's about the same as Mercury in retrograde. That's where we are right now. And that is kind of simple, could be symbol of going into our subconscious mind. The ability, like the Mercury, actually, if you get in tune with those energies and allowing yourself to go to your subconscious mind, to your subconscious knowing what is going on there, underworld, in your own personal underworld, reflect on that, right? Today is a good reflection day because even the moon in Balsamic Stage, right? And just reflecting, bringing like what information you have in your subconscious mind that you can actually bring up into the middle world, like in your world where you usually intellectually reside and live. So that is also something maybe to look at. That can be very, very beneficial. And I love this part about Mercury. That's his ability to do these things. And so, and about the trickster part, right? It's like during the Mercury retrograde, usually a retrograde, people say, oh, you know, you have to be very careful how you communicate. Like you can say one thing and the person who you talk to can hear something very different. And so, and that's about the trickstering, right? Like you say something and you kind of, the information may trick another person. So you have to be very careful about it. If you're not sure what's going on with communication, just ask again, right? Ask the person what they're actually really talking about. What do they really mean? And so it's like, and that Gemini is very intellectual, so there's no emotions involved in that. And so during this kind of the shift, during this solar eclipse may actually affect, and it's kind of good idea. I invite you to look at that, about how you receive information, how you personally receive information, how you use your intuition about receiving information, how you're connected to your own subconscious mind, your underworld, how you connected to your upper world, right? How you communicate and connect with your guides, your spiritual team, right? How do you listen to the divine? How do you listen to your body? Your body is also communicating lots of things. It's also the way of communicate. Right? Where do you trick yourself? about communication. Do you listen with your emotions? Do your emotions usually get involved when you deliver information, or when you listen, receive the information, or you trying to be very intellectual? Because Gemini is about intellect, not about emotions. And is that what we need? Like, we need really those bright ideas right now to move forward as a collective, and in our personal life, of course, too. Like, not being emotional, because there are too much emotions going on for the last year and a half already, right? Too much emotions and feelings. And we need like this bright idea, intellectual solutions to things to move forward. But information you've been receiving recently, right? You can journal about that. Just write anything, because when we just think about that, meditate, sometimes we just lose information. Just writing it down, it could be very, very good idea, very practical. And today the moon is in Taurus, which is the earth sign, and it's very practical. It's all very physical. Yes, and the other thing I wanted to talk about is the part of the being a trickster during this time, how you receive information, deliver information, that most of you are empaths. You sense people, you know what's going on with other people around you. And when somebody tells you, delivers some information to you, notice what are you in tune with? Are you tuning into the energy of that person, or to the information that that person tells you? Like, if you listen to the person, then what may happen, that can be this trickster came up, because the person, if he or she delivers information that they really believe in, then you as an empath, you're gonna feel like the person actually tells you the truth, because those people, they really believe in what they say. But it does not mean that the information they actually deliver is actually true. So you have to separate the person energy from the energy of the information. So tune into the information that being delivered to you. Even you read it, you hear it somewhere, does not matter who says anything. Tune into the information, to the energy of the information, if it's true or is it a lie. And you practice that, and you're gonna know. Like, maybe your body starts to give you some signs about that, or you just kind of your own knowing, right? And your own intuition. It could be very different for everybody how you perceive the information. Okay, so, and the other thing I want to do them use the goddess cards. I really love this deck. It's goddess guidance oracle cards, and I'm gonna do 3 cards for all of us who are ever gonna watch that for this solar eclipse period of time. So I'm going to do 3 cards. One card, the first card, is going to be like our downworld information and the goddess of that, like what we should kind of look at that in our subconscious mind to reflect on, and who we could ask to support us in that. Then I'll get the second card, is about like MiddleWorld. That's where we live usually. And so it's like what we should focus in our life, in the world, and who can support us in that the most. And the third card is going to be like the upper world message, right, from the heaven, from the above, from the universe, what we can focus on for transformation during this time. Okay. Okay. So the first card is our underworld card is Cordelia. It's a fairy queen. Oh, it says go outside. Look at that. There are lots of fairies, flowers, and it is beautiful outside right now. There's lots of flowers. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. So it could be like literally because we've been indoors lots of time during the last year, right? So now it is the time to go out. So you can reflect on that, like where do you want to go out in the war and who do you want to communicate with, right? Like the last year gave you some information, maybe your interest changed, your perspective on things changed. You know, like where do you actually want to go out? With who do you want to go out? That's your kind of inner subconscious reflections of things. And fairies and elementals, they live on Earth, right? They're really connected to Earth, and there are some elementals that do live in underworld also, so they know that place really, really well. So working with elementals, and again, go outside. If you go to the nature, if you take it like this way, then going to the nature can help you to communicate with those elementals and get some information from them and ask them to support you. Connecting to flowers, trees, because their roots going under the world, under the earth, and can guide you for your own underworld journey. Okay, then this middle card is this one. It's Erakura, blossoming. You are just you are just getting started. So have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. So that is also fairy queen or flower fairy. It's a flower fairy, and so this is the card, the guidance for our middle world, how we present ourselves into the world. And yeah, so whatever you desire right now, you're just getting started. So have patience, have lots of patience, don't give up, and just follow your intuition, your dreams, your ideas, those bright ideas that you are having or are going to have maybe soon. And here's our card from UpperWorld, the message from UpperWorld, from our divine team. Excel, it's medicine woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. So we are, as a women, we are healers, and we are receiving confirmation right from the divine. We sense that and communicate that. And that is something we should really use now time, especially like with all this shift and changes happening. That is our power. And we have to really learn how to do that, being healers for ourselves and for the world. Oh, it's windy, windy, windy here. Yeah, and there is like actually the flowers here, the birds of paradise, and those flowers actually do connect you to the ideas and to communicating the ideas from that, the ones that you receive from the divine, and you support them. Okay, so thank you for being here and watching, and if you have any questions, please post, and there is a in a group, inside the group, I'm gonna post some cards later if you want for your own personal guidance for this time. Bye everybody.